education. He started investing in 1995 by renting rooms in his own home, left Cadbury's in 2001 and replaced his salary by 2003. In 2003, he founded the Property Investors Network, now the UK's largest and longest running property networking organisation. He later launched a 12-month mentorship and the Property Mastermind programme, which has produced more successful investors than any other in the UK. His Amazon #1 bestseller Property Magic has helped over 100,000 readers learn to buy property without using their own money. And in 2013, he founded Crowd Property, which is now a major peer-to-peer lender supporting thousands of new homes across the UK. So please, can we welcome Mr. Simon Zutshi himself. Hi Simon, how are you?
Hello Katie, I'm very well. Thank you so much for that introduction. I will just say I seem to have a very poor internet connection today, so I will try and be with you. If I dip out, don't go anywhere. I will come back, and what I might do is I might turn my camera off because that kind of helps with the signal as well, if that's okay. So welcome everyone to this talk, and as you quite rightly said, we set up the Mastermind program back in 2007 because I really wanted to help people who were serious about moving forward. And every year, once a year, we offer a fully paid scholarship onto the Mastermind program. It's a £30,000 investment, and someone who's here watching this video could win that prize, which is pretty amazing, by the way. And by the way, I love all the contribution and comments in the chat box. If you'd love to win a life-changing prize, just put life-changing into the chat box. Okay, so let me turn my camera off to and start sharing. So if you take action and if you apply, and on this presentation I'll show you exactly how you apply and also give you some clues about what I'm looking for. You could be the person starting the Mastermind program, the next one starting Mastermind 39, starting in April this year, and get it a fully paid scholarship, which is pretty cool, right? Or you might be one of the 50 runner-up prizes. A lot of people say, well, that sounds great, but only one person, well, I'm not going to bother entering. There are 50 runner-up prizes. You can't join Mastermind. There's no discounts, no offers on this. I'm just telling you about the scholarship, what's involved, and how you could win it. Okay, you won't buy anything. That's the whole point about VP. Nothing for sale, no offers, just great value, hopefully. 50 runner-up prices means you actually have a really good chance. You wouldn't believe it, right? But it's amazing how many people think, oh, I never win these kind of things, I'm not going to bother entering. We have 25,000 people active on my database, and we normally get a couple of hundred people entering each year, which is great. So you've got a really, really good chance of winning something because most people just don't take action. They talk about wanting to achieve great things, they just don't actually do the things they need to do. So regardless if Mastermind is perfect for you or not, I hope you're going to get some value and gain some inspiration from being here watching this presentation, okay? Here's what you're going to learn. What's included in this life-changing prize, how to actually apply for the scholarship, what I'm looking for, and I'm going to give you some, listen carefully, I'm going to give you some hints and tips of the kind of person I'm looking for, and also I'm going to share with you, whether you decide to do the scholarship or decide to do Mastermind, I'm going to share with you why some of my students are so successful, so you can copy the things they do to become more successful yourself, okay? So listen very, very carefully, and I'd encourage you to take some notes. And also I'm going to talk about why 2026 is such a good time to invest and why you should make the most of it. Now I've got another talk later on. I'm going to talk more about that, but I'm bringing it into context with the scholarship as well. Okay, so I say the top prize is a fully paid scholarship worth £30,000. I'd say it's actually worth more than that because of what people achieve on Mastermind, but that's the investment to join Mastermind, £25,000 plus VAT. And you might think, why on earth would people pay that much money? Well, I'll talk about that later. It's Mastermind 39, which means we've done 38 year-long programs before. We typically do 2 a year, sometimes we've even done 3. And in fact, we've also done 7 virtual year-long programs that we did during the COVID years. We couldn't really get together, so we've almost had actually 46 programs we've been through. So what that means is I know exactly what you need to do to achieve all of your property goals, no matter where you're starting, where you are now, what your situation is. I can tell you what you can do to replace your income, to do everything you want to do in property, if only you just listen to what I say and just do it. Okay, we help support to help you do that as well. Okay, everyone else on Mastermind 39 would have invested this amount of money in themselves to be part of this group. So part of being in something like Mastermind is you're buying a seat at the table of other like-minded, successful people. You see, this event you're watching right now, this is free. You haven't had to pay anything to be here. We've had lots of people register, but only about a third of the people to register have actually turned up. And wow, guys, if you think people have missed out, just put missed out in the chat box. If they've not been here this time, then maybe they bought the recordings because they knew they couldn't be here, and they can go through those, get lifetime access. Of course, it's definitely worth getting the recordings. But I think a lot of people have missed out because when things are free, people don't value them, right? Oh, I won't bother doing that. I'm busy. I've got to do something else. And life gets in the way. When people have invested money, they want to get a return on that money. And they want to get in a room of other people who are also invested, get in the right kind of group. So if that makes sense, see why, if you understand about getting in a right supportive environment is so important, just put the word support into the chat box. And by joining a group where other people, so when you win the scholarship, you don't have to pay this money, but recognize that everyone else there has paid. So you're going to be in a group of really, really high caliber people. Some who are completely new to property and some who are already very experienced in property. But as I can see all the comments here, now support makes a huge difference, and that's what you're buying into, a group of these like-minded people in the support community. So it's a high caliber group, and that's one of the reasons people join the Mastermind program. Now, I know when training is not all the same, and sometimes people say, oh, training is really expensive. Well, let me just tell you something. Having learned myself the hard way for 8 years through trial and terror before I started PIN in 2003, I can tell you making expensive mistakes is actually very expensive as well. And education, as long as you use it and apply it, is probably one of the best investments you can ever make, because you're investing in yourself. You are investing in your long-term ability to make money. Okay? One of the reasons people do this is they know that there's lots of free information out there. Some say, why should you pay for it? It's all free. And yeah, if you go and look at my YouTube channel, a lot of the stuff I actually teach on Mastermind, I give away for free. Maybe not in quite all the detail, but I give the concepts and the principles. Someone's a sell-side, they can go into it. But here's a question for you. Out of the near 30,000 people who subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is completely free, there's a lot of great content on there. If information alone is enough, and I share a lot of the stuff from Mastermind and my training on my YouTube channel, how come those 30,000 people are not all financially independent? It's because, well, maybe you can guess, but it's because they didn't pay for the information. They don't value the info. They might look at it, oh, that's brilliant, but then do nothing with it. When you've invested in yourself and you want to get a return on your money, you're more likely to do it. Now, I'm telling you this because if you're watching this, there's a good chance that there's a chance that you could win this £30,000 prize. So I'm telling you this because I want to explain, I'm not just going to give it to anyone. There are a few hoops to jump through. I want to make sure I give it to the person who is going to vote, because the danger is, because I'm giving it to someone completely free, they just have to get themselves to Birmingham once a month for our workshops. There's a danger I give it to someone who doesn't value it, because they haven't paid like everyone else has paid. So that's what I'm telling you. I want someone who really is going to appreciate this opportunity and make the most of it and really commit to it, because it can be literally life-changing. When people spend that kind of money, they've done our mastermind, they say it was a big decision, a scary decision, but most people normally say it's one of the best things they've ever done. And the results, the amount of property they get varies. Some people only get 1 or 2 properties in the first year. Some people completely place their income in the first year. But it's not just about the property, it's about the experience, it's about the way they change as people, about the way they change thinking, they become more positive, more confident. So why isn't YouTube enough? Well, people often need more than information, and also there's almost too much information on YouTube. Where do you start? Who should you listen to? Anyone can put up a YouTube video. They might have been doing it for a year, they put up a YouTube video. Nobody in the UK has been training consistently as long as I have. And you'll notice, if you're here long enough in the industry, people come and go. They're here for a couple of years, then they go. But being here consistently speaks for itself, and one of the reasons, because I've got very, very good at helping people get their results. So, do you need to join the mastermind to be successful? No, of course you don't need to join the mastermind. We got a lot of people who just do our 3-day course. We have a 3-day course, which, by the way, all our mastermind. If you're the winner, by the way, you get to do our 3-day accelerator course. So I'll tell you about that later. If you're the winner, you get to do that, and you can bring someone with you as well, bring a partner. That's all part of the mastermind. And actually, an interesting thing that maybe slightly different from other companies. If you called my office next week and said, "Hi, I'd like to pay £30,000 to come and do mastermind," they'll say, "Sorry, we can't take your money." What do you mean you can't take? I want to pay you £30,000 now. I'll send you, here's my credit card. No, they won't take your money. Because we have such a high track record of results, I want to make sure we maintain that track record of results. So to do our mastermind, you have to attend one of our 3-day courses. Ideally our mastermind accelerator, where we teach all of the strategies from the year-long program. People do that at the beginning of their year-long program to get them going quickly. And you don't have to do mastermind if you do that 3-day course. Many people do that 3-day course and they get enough to go and do it themselves. And good for them. Great. The reason people come and do mastermind after doing the 3-day accelerator is because although they could do it on their own, they want to make sure they get support, accountability. They want to plug into that group of high caliber people as well. So I'm not saying, you've got to do mastermind to be successful. That would be foolish. No, not the case at all. You might be a self-starter, you might do it yourself. You do need to know what you're doing. And so one of our 3-day courses, like 3-day accelerator, would be a good start. But once you've done that, you can treat these 3-day courses as you doing your due diligence on us to make sure that we are the right company, the right trainers to work with you. Because not all training is the same. You have to. I meet so many people who they believe what they hear online. They go into a course or a training, or sometimes spend more than we charge on our year-long program, and they just don't get results. And they come to us. They say, "Oh my God, they come to our 3-day course, and on our 3 they learn more than they might have learned on someone else's year course." "Oh my God, why didn't I find you first?" And maybe we're not very good at our marketing and sales. I don't know, but we have so many people say they wish they'd found us first. So if you're new and you're shopping around, please shop around. Don't take my word. Don't take anyone's word for it. Shop around. Do some low-level courses. Get to meet people. Work out who is the right person. And my company might not be the right people for you. I don't know. Because you're here, you probably are, but I don't know. But, I encourage you to do your own due diligence, okay? And the fact that we have such a high track record, the fact we've been doing it for so long, got so good at helping people, and the fact you can't just pay to come on our top program probably says quite a few things. So why do people pay for Mastermind? Well, they understand the value of investing in themselves. They want to jump the learning curve. Rather than doing things the slow and hard way, which is what I did, they want to get the results much quicker. After all, let me ask you a question. Listen carefully to this. If you want to get to the point where you make it, £5,000 a month from your property, would you rather do that in a year or two, or do you want to take 5-6 years together? Do you want to do it quick or slow? Just type it in, quick or slow, quick or slow. If you want to get to £5,000, do you want to get there quickly, or do you want to take, I'm happy to build it up over 5 years? Of course, you'll do it. Now, I'm not talking about get rich quick, because get rich quick suggests there's no work. There is definitely time and effort required. Definitely time. But the time and effort you put in when you're doing the right stuff and you're guided will be the best time you've ever put into anything in your life. Okay? And I don't know about you, if you've been investing a while and you haven't had support, you probably would have made some mistakes. Over my 30 years investing, before I got any training or help, I made some expensive mistakes. And I'm still here. I did okay, but I would have done so much better and saved a lot of money if I hadn't made. By the way, let me just to, there might be some new people think, why would you make mistakes? Just to help me with this, I'd just like to understand if you are in property, you've been in property for a while, and you have made any mistakes, or you've made things where you've made some mistakes, or you bought a property which maybe wasn't such a good deal, just put the word mistake into the chat box. If you had a bit more education, if you kind of knew what you're doing, you probably wouldn't have made, just put mistake in. Because I want the people who are new to understand, if you don't get education and training, you probably will make some mistakes. Now, there might not be fatal mistakes, with time. you can overcome those mistakes. But look at all the comments, all the people saying mistakes. If you try and do stuff on your own, and obviously you can learn through mistakes. And by the way, if you do something like Moss, I'm not saying you won't make mistakes. That would be a crazy statement. Of course you're going to make, and you learn from mistakes. But sometimes people make mistakes that are so painful it puts them off investing forever. And one that we have a little rule on Master, we say you cannot buy a property unless you've sense checked it with your coach. Now your coach can't tell you if you should do a deal or not. That's always got to be your decision. But if it's a bad deal, they can ask you questions to help you see the things you might have spotted. And often I've seen people who find a brilliant deal, a great deal, and it's almost too good they talk themselves. By the way, if you've done that, if you've found a great deal and talked yourself out of it, just put the word talk in the chat box. If you found a really good deal, but you've talked yourself out of it,
I think we have temporarily lost Simon's connection. He will be back very, very shortly. Please carry on talking in the chat box. Lots of people seem to have...
investors. You can do it part-time, I guess, but you can't treat this like a hobby. You need to do this professionally, otherwise it will cost you money. And they want the community, the support, and the accountability. That's why people invest in themselves. And also they want to get a high return on investment on their time and their money. They want to make sure they're doing the right stuff and maximize the revenue they make from their properties. That's why they join Mastermind. So think about this. What would have to happen for that to make it a great investment? By the way, someone here is going to get this as a prize. What would have to happen? Well, let's look at the alternative. You could take that £30,000, put it down on deposit on one cheap property up north, but then you'd have just one cheap property up north. Nothing wrong with being up north. I've got some properties up north, but that's kind of the alternative, really. Instead, you can learn how to buy enough properties to replace your income, often using very little of your own money, using some of the creative strategies. So what if you say you came on something like Mastermind and you acquired just one extra property? You've just got one extra property because you're on Mastermind, and it's a good SA. We've heard about SA today. We've heard I think HMO and SAs are the two main strategies you should be using basically this year. There was one other thing actually, but anyway, they're the main ones. If you're making £1,250 profit, that's after the mortgage, after the expenses, bills, £1,250 profit per month. Would it be worth it? You invested £30,000 and you got 1,250 profit per month. Would that be worth it? Just put it in the chat box. Would that be worth it? Just put worth it in. Would that be worth it? And someone say, well, no, that's not enough. And say, yeah, that's great. If you actually do the numbers on it, that would be £15,000 a year, which means you get your money back in 2 years. That's a 50% return on investment. Would that be worth it? You've got a 50% return. Who'd be happy with 50%? Of course you would, right? And this is often when people look at buying properties and doing deals, they don't do the numbers. You need to do the numbers. How much money do I need to put in? What's my cash flow? What's my return on investment? This helps you quickly assess deals to work out if they're a good deal or not. And I'd say if you got your money back in 2 years, that's not a bad return. And by the way, remember, that's a property that's going to go up in value over time, plus give you $1,250 every month. And by the way, if you just want one property, don't do Mastermind. You can just do our 3-day accelerator if you want to do that. But if you want to build a portfolio quickly to replace your income, well then maybe this scholarship could you. What could be buying at good discounts in the market? So based on average value of maybe 300,000, it's an average in the UK, or just under that actually. 20% of that would be 6,000. So if you've got something at 20% discount, it means you could recycle the money very quickly. I've got £30,000 of instant equity, and you invested £30,000 to learn how to do that. You've just got a 200% return on your investment. Okay, so when you put it into context, although £30,000 as an isolated figure can sound like a lot of money, people look at a cost, you need to look at the value, what it can do for you. And when buying property, it doesn't take much to get your investment back. Okay, and also you've got the benefit of the lifetime investment in you, where you get an infinite return on investment. Okay, so if you're the winner of this scholarship, my goal is I want to help you. Well, if you're on mastermind anyway, but I'm talking about the scholarship here. So someone's going to win this. You're not paying any money for it. You're winning this, but I want to make sure you understand the value of it. My goal is to help you get enough property in the next 12 months to give you a £50,000 income for life. £50,000. Now, not everyone does that in the first, to be really honest, not everyone does it in the first year. Sometimes take 2, sometimes even take 3 years. It depends on how quickly they actually do the stuff we tell them to do. Okay? Now, it might sound crazy, but I know exactly. I don't care where you're from. I don't care what your background is. I know exactly what you need to do because I've helped thousands of people through Mastermind do this. And I know exactly what you need to do. So you don't have to think, what do I do? How do I start? I know exactly what you need to do. And later in this presentation, I'm going to share with you exactly how you can actually come onto Mastermind as a scholarship winner and absolutely do that. Before, I want you to think about it. Imagine for a minute, how would your life change if you had £50,000 a year or more coming in every year for the rest of your life? What would life be like? £50,000 a year. That's before tax, by the way. £50,000 a year for the rest of your life. It'd be pretty amazing, right? But the thing is, it's not impossible for you to do that because we had many people who've done it before. Now, people are saying, "Oh, do you guarantee success?" Well, I can't guarantee success because I can't guarantee that you are going to do what we teach you to do. But what I can guarantee is it's possible. Oh, by the way, if I could guarantee you £50,000 a year for life income, we would charge a lot more than £30,000. Just. By the way, if you think that's fair, just put fair in the chat box. If we could absolutely guarantee 50,000, then we charge a lot more than 30,000 for you to have 50,000 for the rest of your life, right? Of course we'd do that. So I can't guarantee it, but what I can do, I can guarantee what works. I can guarantee we teach what absolutely works, and I can guarantee that it's possible because I had so many people who've been here. I've been running this since April 2007. We've had 38 physical programs before 39, which one you could win the scholarship on. We've had 7 virtual programs. I know exactly what you need to do. And that's 18 years, 38 physical programs before you even get to participate, so we know what you need to do. About 15 to 20% of our students actually hit the target in the first 12 months. 15, which is a pretty high success rate. Our top students, that's what they get. If you look at a university, only a small number of people get their first degree, and a university costs you a lot more money and doesn't make you as much money either, by the way, but still. Most people, they take 2 years or sometimes 3 years to get there. But would that still be worth it? If you got to the point you had £50,000 for the rest of your life, would it be worth it? Just put yes in the chat. We think, yeah, that kind of would be worth it when we do that. Is it easy? No, it's not easy. You've got to put time and effort in, but we tell you to do the right stuff. If it took you 3 to 4, 3 years, it'd still be worth it. You've got that kind of income for the rest of your life. Absolutely. Some people smash our target, by the way, and make much more in 12 months. We have a big annual dinner. You might have been to the PIN dinner. Just put dinner in the chat box if you've been to the PIN annual dinner. We do it in November every year. It's an amazing event. You should definitely come along. We had some of our mastermind students stand on the stage, and a couple of years ago we started. For the last 3 years we've done this, and each year we have a group of people who are in our 100k club. These are people that are earning in excess of £100,000 profit a year from their property. You might recognise some familiar faces here. People like Dan Hill, Stuart Scott. These are all people who've done our mastermind program we've heard from today and done incredibly well for themselves. This is our 100k club, and we have people like Greg. So this is Greg Reed. Greg was actually a friend of mine at Cadbury's. You probably know my story. I started at Cadbury's as a graduate trainee and a manager, and I eventually left thanks to my property. But it took me 8 years to replace my income. And I met Greg at Cadbury's. He started the year before me, and as a graduate trainee as well. And he stayed there 20 years. Worked his way right to the top of the corporate ladder, and finally took redundancy. He had a bit of money, bit of redundancy, bit of money in his house, and he had to replace quite a big income. And by the way, his leaving income was about 2.5, maybe 3 times my leaving, because I was only there 5.5 years. He was there 20 years, right? Got very, very high in the company. And he came and did our mastermind program. And what took me 8 years to do to replace my income, because Greg followed our step-by-step process, he replaced his income in just 8 months. And by the time he got to 12 months, he was well over 100,000. In fact, we have, I'm not going to go to all these. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. This is just some of the people from that stage. And each year we have about 20, 30 people come on stage. They're in our 100K club. All these people, and a lot more, got over £100,000 income in just their first year. £100,000 of income. That's profit, by the way, after mortgages, expenses. And I'm telling you this because I'm trying to build your belief about what you can do, about what's possible when you get the right support and encouragement around you. So imagine you had not just 50, but £100,000 a year, every year. And again, I am not saying this is easy. I'm not saying you just turn up to the workshop, you make the money. No, you've got to implement, you've got to take action. You're going to have some offers fall through. You're going to have things that would maybe make you give up if you're on your own, but because you've got support around you, don't give up. Once you know what to do, the only reason you'll fail is if you give up. And with all the support that we give you, you know, it's very hard to fail. And just to be clear, I'm not saying this is easy, but it is very possible to be achieved. Again, because other people have done it. Time and effort is required to get to life-changing results in such a short amount of time. It's not just about hard work, it's about working smart. Work smart rather than hard work, okay? By the way, 70% of people who do mastermind, they've got full-time jobs or they might be running their own business. People say to me, Simon, if I win the scholarship, do I need to give up my job? No, don't do that. Don't. If you have a job, if you win the scholarship, you know, don't give up your job. Keep your job because, you know, it's good to have an income coming in, or keep your business. It's good to be able to get mortgages. But you don't have to do mastermind full-time to get great results. You need about 8 to 10 hours a week to get good results. So here's a question. And remember, I want to give this scholarship, because that's what this presentation is about, to someone who is going to value it. If you honestly can't put 8 to 10 hours a week in, please don't apply for the scholarship, because you're not going to get the results we talk about if you can't put that much time in. But then again, if you're not prepared to put that much time in, I'd wonder, how committed are you to your goals? Maybe you're very happy doing what you're doing. You're too comfortable doing what you do now, and maybe you don't want to replace your income. You don't want to get 50, 100,000 a year. Okay, but I'm just saying, I want to make sure the people who apply for this scholarship, they know what's involved, they know what you need to do, and so you can make the commitment to work. So you do need that kind of time. We have some people who are full-time property doing it. They might have been property for a long time, or they've been made redundant and they want to get another job, so they come and do this instead. They use the redundancy money to pay for this. But I'm just saying, you don't have to do this full time, but it's about the time you do have being focused and doing the right stuff. Okay, by the way, if you're already in property, this doesn't mean an extra 8 to 10 hours. If you're already in property, you might not be doing the most effective stuff. So instead, we'll get you focused on doing the right activity. Because you might think, I'm doing a business, I'm doing property, I can't fit an extra 8 to 10 hours in. I'm not saying that, but it's 8 to 10 hours overall in your property. We sometimes get experienced masterminders who've been investing for over a decade. In 12 months, they double their cash flow and portfolio. Okay. We also have people who are completely new and they manage to replace their income in 12 months. So it doesn't matter where you're at. So here's what I'm looking for. So listen carefully, because I'm going to give you some clues, some things you might want to put in the application for. I want someone who, first of all, is going to value this lifetime. That's why I was telling you how valuable this is. I want to make sure someone really values this and makes the most of this. And to do that, you've got to fully play. You've got to turn up to we have 10 workshops over the year. You want to get on the webinars and use the coaching, the mentoring, all the online training. There's nothing else to buy. When you're on Mastermind, you get access to everything. I want to make sure someone's going to fully use all those resources. I want someone who is teachable. If we tell you what to do and you're just not open to it, and you can't follow a proven process, please don't apply. Please don't join Mastermind. It's not right for you. You need to be teachable. If you're teachable, just put teachable into the chat box. You need to be someone who is teachable, i.e. you're open to learning a better, different way of doing things, and you're happy to follow a step-by-step process that is tried, tested, and proved, which means you don't have to reinvent the wheel. We'll say, go and do this because it's worked before. You need to go and do it. Okay, I'm looking for someone who's going to keep going until they succeed. Look, property can be difficult. There are some challenges in property. People make mistakes in property. But I really want to make sure that you understand you got to just keep going with this. You got to keep going, okay? And also, you got to understand the mastermind is about not just about you on your own on this journey. You're in with this group of peers, and the power of the mastermind really is we have some amazing people in our masterminds. And yeah, okay, maybe me and the other trainers were the catalyst, but really it's the group. They are amazing. They support each other, they encourage each other, and probably the most successful people are often the people who contribute most and help other people in the group. Because if you do that, you're learning it. So I want people who want to give back. And really help and be part of that. That's who I'm looking for. That's who I'd love to give. And if this is you, by the way, if you think this is you meet this guy, just put "that's me" in the chat box. If you think, yeah, I could be those things, or I'm prepared to do those things, that's me, then you should definitely apply for the scholarship. Okay, these kind of things we're looking for. Now, to be successful, you need three elements really. You definitely need specialist knowledge. Let me talk a little bit about that. And I want you to identify where you might be at the moment. So if you're completely new to property, we have a one-day course called the Foundation Course. It's £500. Great starter course to really get you understand about motivated sales, and it would save thousands of pounds off your first deal. So if you've got completely new, maybe that's something you should think about. You've got some experience, or you've done a bit of training before, a 3-day mastermind accelerator, which all our masterminds get included as part of the program. Definitely the thing you should do. It teaches you all the strategy from a year-long program. It's residential, so you get completely immersed with me and the coaches, and we're all step changing for your investing. And I want to talk about that because we've got one scholarship winner who, by the way, will get to come to the next 3-day mastermind. So we've got a couple of dates on the application form. You've got to choose which of the dates you can make. So listen carefully, look at the form, check you can make them, because if you're the winner, we're going to give you 3-day accelerator as well. It's £4,000 prize. We're going to give it to you, but 20 runners up will also get a half price ticket to MMA, so get for 2,000 instead of 4,000, and you can bring a partner with you if you want, based on sharing a room. 98% of people who do mastermind do our 3-day course first, because they get to learn all the strategy, they get to check us out, do their own due diligence. Are we the right teacher for you? They get to sample the environment for yourself. There's no risk. There's a money back guarantee up to halfway through. It's great. You can get all your money back. And for many people, actually, MMA, the 3-day course is more than enough. They don't need to do mastermind. And if that's you, great. You could just do that. Okay. What we teach on the, I'm not going to go through all of this because of time, but you can go and check it out. It's an amazing 3-day course, that, and a lot, because there's a paid course, get high caliber people there. A lot of people find partners they work with, they do joint ventures and things. And when you come out, you're going to have a step-by-step plan. So what is more important is this. So you might want to take a picture of this. It's a 3-day residential. If you're the scholarship winner, you're going to get to come to this as part of the prize. If you're one of the runners-up, 21st, 20 runners, you're going to get this half price. Please put down these 2 dates. It's a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, so you might need to be prepared to take a bit of time off work to do this. By the way, if you're not prepared to take a couple of days off work, are you really making the commitment to want to do mastermind? Probably not. Okay, so that's a bit of a sense check for you. Because here's the thing, I know holiday's precious, right? I love to go on holiday, it's very precious. That's why I left Cadbury's, really, because I just didn't get enough holiday. But if you invest the time, take some holiday and do mastermind in a year, by the time we get to next year, maybe you don't have to do the job anyway. So you won't be worrying about holiday because you don't need to ask anyone for holiday, right? So write these dates down. If you're the scholarship winner or one of the runners up, you need to let us know which of these you could do. So you've got to get yourself, it's the Windsor, so it's a Heathrow, just outside Heathrow really. It's the 5th to 7th of February. That one's almost sold out, so there aren't as many places that one, or we've opened up a new date, which is 9th to 11th of April in Birmingham, just by the NEC, I think it is, okay? So very easy to get to from wherever you are in the country, or internationally. People fly in from all over around the world to come to our accelerators. Birmingham's next to Birmingham International, Windsor, obviously just next to Heathrow Airport. So you'd have to pick one of those 2 dates if you're the winner or one of the runners-up. You get a full workbook with all the notes. We audio record the full 3 days, so you can go back and listen again. We give you all the strategies from the 12, and it's residential, so we pay for 2 nights accommodation, pay for all your food. We don't pay for your drinks, obviously, but that's down to you. And we teach everything from a year-long program, and we have a money-back guarantee, so that if those people who paid up to halfway through, you don't think it's the best course you've done, but in any other, different from any other 3-day training, just let us know. We'll give you all your money back. And we really don't get many people asking. So if you want the details for that, maybe my team could just put a link in the chat box. There's no offers, not selling anything here, but you can go and find out more from mastermindaccelerator.co.uk. Okay, so if you're some experience, that might be the best thing for you. And if you're expert, you're already investing in property, you've already got a portfolio, you could jump straight into the 12-month mastermind. However, you'd get the 3-day course anyway, because we want to make sure you know what you're doing. So I'd love you just to kind of self-assess yourself from the description I've given you here. Are you beginner, completely new, you've got some experience, or expert? Just self-assess yourself. Might be interesting just to see in the chat box. Type in where do you think you are, because you can work out what might be a next logical step for you. If you're completely new, maybe do our 1-day foundation. You've got some experience, maybe a property or two, definitely at MMA, or expert, maybe mastermind would be good for you. Okay, now I did say whether you decide to do the scholarship or not, just check what time I've got. I'm running out of time. I want to give you some of the secrets around most success. So you can copy these secrets, whether you do the scholarship, whether you do master. I want you to get value from this particular presentation. Okay? So together, first of all, we always buy from motivated sellers, and there are so many motivated sellers at the moment in the market. It's such a good time to be buying property. I do hope you're getting that theme from this 1 day of training today. We find people who've got a problem, and we find the ethical win-win. We can't help everyone. We don't buy every property, and of course we want to make money. We're not a charity, but we want to do it so it's truly ethical. Because if you push too hard in your negotiation, the seller might change their mind once you spent money on surveys and legals and things like that. Okay, so you want to get going. We use many different tools, right? I think a mistake people make, they're too tunnel vision. They just do one thing. We have lots of different strategies and tools we use. That's why we teach Accelerator to give you all of those. This is a big one. And we had a little private session just in lunch, and there was a lady saying she got this big portfolio she's working on. She's going to spend the next 6 months with. I said, that's great, but make sure you've got a pipeline to us, just in case that deal doesn't happen for some reason. You want a pipeline of deals at different stages. So if something falls over, it's not a problem. If you want to speed up results, listen carefully. If you speed up results, most people do one deal, then they do the next deal, then they do them in series. You want to do a number of deals in parallel. You have different deals at different stages. That's what we mean by pipeline. And you always follow up, because when we make an offer, we want it to be rejected. Otherwise, we offer too much. We keep on following up with those offers. We use momentum investing, where you buy something at a discount. We add value. You can refinance 6 to 9 months later, get your money out. By the way, this year, and I'm talking about this in my next talk, we can now do same-day remortgaging. We can buy some at discount, we can refinance straight away, get all of the money out. That's going to speed up your portfolio. I'm talking about that in my next, not the next, but my second presentation. We always do strategies that maximize cash flow and maximize return on investment. That's very, very important. And often we use our own money, then we use other people's money. These are some of the success principles that people do, and we work with other people as well. Rather than do everything on your own, get help from other people. You don't have to JV with them, but get other people to help you. These are the principles that all our really successful people do. Mindset, I'm going to really have to go quick here. Mindset is so important, and then supportive environment. So mastermind is really about support, and I'm at the workshops, you get me in the morning, first thing in the morning. I do some coaching and help you have some accounting. We've got Yvonne and Andy, who've been with me for years and years, both very successful investors themselves, great at training. You've got the group of up to 40 like-minded people. You get the same people on your program, all going through the same journey as you. We've got a special mastermind WhatsApp group, and I'm in there actively in the group answering questions, and the group help each other as well, very important. We've got thousands of our graduates, but hundreds of our graduates are in our Facebook group. You get access to and get help from them. You get your very own property coach, someone who you get one-to-one coaching call with twice a month. And I know for a fact our students do more in the 2 days before their coaching call than the 2 weeks between calls. Okay, so you're going to get two coaches. You're going to get calls each week to help you analyze deals, and also all the pin meetings around the country as well. Now, the workshops, we get together once a month. The program starting in April. It's once a month on a Friday. So when you fill in your application, we've got to say, yeah, I'm happy to get to Birmingham once a month. We do sometimes have facility for people to join us with Zoom, so you can join us virtually, but the magic happens in the room, because you get to speak to other people at lunches and breaks and that kind of thing as well. We'll keep you on track. We'll keep you motivated at those workshops. And sometimes you might have a bad month. Things go wrong, and you think, I don't know, go to the workshop. Come to the workshop. We'll pick you up. We'll motivate you. Send you out the door ready for the next month. You get a full day of coaching, training, and mentoring. You get help with your deals. I'm there. We're analysing deals, talking about the deals to give you confidence to move forward, and you get to learn from the other delegates as well. I say it's not just me, it's the other people in the room. We have some pretty experienced people there, and these workshops, they're all recorded for you, so if you can't make it physically, you can get the audio recording of them as well. Ideally, you want to try and make it as many of those 10 workshops. We know that not everyone will make all of them. They might have family weddings or pre-book holidays you can't get out of, but you want to try and make at least 8 of those workshops. If you're the scholarship winner, I'd really want you to be there, all of them if possible. So you're going to get 24 private coaching calls with your own coach. You can buy coaching separately, but it's £10,000, but you get that included as part of it. And your coach, they're going to help you to overcome fear and procrastination. They're going to help you find deals and confidently make offers. They'll help you pay less with it. I mean, people just buy coaching from us, and usually the very first deal they buy, the amount they save because they've got the help from the coach, more than pays for the coaching. It's a bit of a no-brainer. But you get the coaching included as part of Mastermind. You want to avoid making the really expensive mistakes, because we want you to sense check all your deals before you actually do them. I know I'm running over time here, so sorry, Richie, I'll just be a couple of minutes. You're going to reduce the time to take to actually get to financial freedom. They're going to help you develop your mindset and your belief, and help you stay accountable and keep you on track. And the important thing is you get the same coach every single day. I know some other training companies, you get a number of different coaches. Well, I think you lose time each time you're trying to explain to coach who you are, what you're doing. Getting the same coach, they get to know you, they get to know what motivates you, and you can actually buy that separately from PIN. You can't buy anything today, obviously, but that's included as part. It's £10,000. You get it as part of Mastermind. If you're a scholarship winner, you get access to that. Also, we have all the home study courses. So we have separate courses about rent to rent, purchase options, HMO, creative finance, deal sourcing, SA, all of which we normally sell for £1,500, but you get everything. When you're on Mastermind, there's nothing else for you to buy. Okay, and just to keep you motivated and help you grow your network, you also get a platinum ticket to Property Magic Live, which is in the autumn, and Strategy Implementation Live, that is in March. Okay, and by the way, there'll be 30 runners, so you've got 20 runner-ups. You're going to get half price ticket to MMA, and 30 winners are going to get I think it's a 70% discount off standard tickets to SIL, which is a big hybrid, a couple of hundred people in the room and people online, 6th to 8th of March. All our masterminders go to these events. Gold ticket is $997, VIP is, I think you get £700 off as a 30 one of the 30 runners up. You get to connect to me, meet with our masterminders, and it's an amazing 3 days. You'll achieve more in 3 days than most people do in 3 months on their own. So that's what another 30 runners up. So there's lots of prizes. Let me give the final slide about logistics and tell you how you actually apply. So you've got 10 one-day workshops in Birmingham from April. It's only once a month on a Friday. Once a month. You might need to take some holiday if you're working, but imagine if you replace your income next year, you won't have to worry about a holiday. Okay, you get to come on a 3-day accelerator. You get to pick which of these dates work for you. You have to put it on your application form. The 5th to 7th of February in Windsor, or the 9th to 11th of April in Birmingham. Okay, that's been before you start the program. You do need to put 8 to 10 hours in a week to get the results we advertise. Experience is not important. It's attitude that's important. Your attitude is the most important thing here. You've got to be open-minded, you've got to be teachable, and you need to be able to follow a step-by-step proven process. And also be prepared to help other people in the group. We want this community that's very abundant, helping each other. And also, I recommend you probably attend a couple of PIN meetings every month as well, which again is all included as well. Here's the process. You need to make a decision from what we said today. Do you think the mastermind is perfect for you or not? If you think it's perfect for you, just put the word perfect into the chat box. Put the word perfect. You think, yeah, mastermind is perfect for me. Just put that into the chat box. Okay, so you're going to make the decision first, because it may not be right for everyone here. If you can't commit the time, it's not right for you. Okay, complete your application as soon as you possibly can. We're going to give you a link in the chat box in just a minute. I'm going to show a QR code as well, so get your phone out ready to scan this, so you can click on the link in the chat box. I recommend you do it tonight or tomorrow at the latest. You've got until the 14th So you've got a few days. You've got the 14th of January at midnight. That's when we close. Any application received after that will not be counted in the scholarship. Okay, so be really clear. You've got a bit of time to get the form done. Okay, then once you've done the form, you get to book a call with my team. They're going to talk through the form and just sense check if they've got any extra information. From that, they're going to put together the short list, the runner-up list. Okay, if you get on the runner-up list, you're getting a prize, either half price MMA or 70% off SIL, and you've got a chance of being the winner. I pick the winner, so I'm going to go through all the application forms myself, all the runner-up ones, sorry, and I'm going to pick the winner. It's going to be announced on the 22nd of January. Okay, and then we'll call the winner, and the 50 runners up will be notified by email, or maybe my team might just give you a call and congratulate you and book you into whatever you've won, basically. So here's the QR code. This is it, the final thing. Let's get your phone out now. Can we share the link in the chat box as well, please, team? Put the link in the chat box if we can. So there's a link. Click on that link now in the chat box, or take out your phone, scan the QR code, because I've got to get off to let Richie Clapson, who's an amazing presenter, and he just makes up all his talks, don't you, Richie? So he'll be able to adjust his time a little bit. He won't be fine. He'll be fine with that. But click on the link in the chat box. Don't fill in the form while Richie's speaking. Listen to Richie. It's going to give you lots of value. But make sure you save this link very carefully. We'll probably send out a follow-up email I know this evening or something again with a link to this, just in case you've missed it. But I really encourage you to click on the link right now. Now, here's a tip for you. I've given you some things I'm looking for already. Don't put one-word answers in there, but don't give me a 15-page essay either. Be honest. And if you've applied before, you can apply again. If you've got money and you think you could afford to do it yourself anyway, hey, you could still apply. It's all about the answers you put, and we want to find someone who's really going to value this. So don't discount yourself. You'll be surprised at how, I guarantee you, everyone who's seen this video will not bother applying for whatever reason. They think, oh, I don't win these kind of things normally. They self-select themselves out, and guess what? They're right, because they don't enter, they're never going to win anyway. So give yourself the best chance of winning. This is going to be a truly life-changing opportunity, and it could be you. You remember those national lottery adverts? You could be you. You could be the person winning this truly, probably, I think, far more value than winning the lottery, because most people who win the lottery, they're normally bust within a couple of years. But this is the way for you to change your life. And if you have kids and family, you can really help your family by being the inspiration, being the leader, being the example. Kids learn from their parents, right? And their nephew, their uncles and aunties. Be the leader, be the inspiration for your kids. Teaching your kids this stuff by example is much better than leaving them money, by the way. Okay, so do hope you've been here. I wish you all the best on the scholarship. Do come and fill your form in. We also get you to take something called the strategy profile test, which is it will help you identify what the best strategies are you should be using. We email you a PDF report, and there are 4 different profiles that come out of that. You need to put what profile you are on the application. So take the strategy profile test first. It will all be explained on the link. Then fill in the application form. Then you book a call with the team. Make sure you get on that call, because they're checking your form, working out if they're going to make you a runner-up or not. Okay. Then I'll look at all the runner-up forms and pick the winner, and we'll let you know on the 22nd of April if you've won this life-changing prize, or if you won one of the amazing runner-up prizes. So you've got every chance of winning if you actually apply. If you don't apply, you've got no chance of winning. Why would you not apply? It takes probably with a phone call, I think, probably less than half an hour to fill in the form, have a quick call with the team. Very simple. So take action now. Enjoy the rest of it. I will see you later on for my final talk, and I'll try and make my next talk a little bit shorter so I can catch up some of the lost time. I apologise, Katie, because I know you're great to keep things on time. I apologise, Richie, as well. I know Richie is going to give you a great talk. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much. And as ever, I encourage you to invest in knowledge, invest in skill. Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Simon. Please make sure that you do apply for the scholarship, but please do it at the end of the day. We want to give the speakers the respect and the attention that they deserve. They're full of knowledge, and Richie has been patiently waiting for his turn. So we're going to dive straight